Hello, lovely ladies. It's Kiana Antoinette, your certified etiquette consultant, and let's talk about how amazing God is. How He supernaturally provided me with my first home that checked off all of my things that I wanted in my first home while working a part time job. What? You cannot tell me my God is not good. So let's jump into it. So, this is for all of my girlies who are on Section 8 and you want to level up. It is possible. I encourage you, if you are on Section 8 or on any type of government assistance, it is okay. Use it as a stepping stone, not a crutch, but a stepping stone so that you can continue to level up. So, I want to share with you my story on how I used my Section 8 voucher to purchase a home. So, to give you a little bit of backstory, I purchased my home through a Section 8 voucher because when I was young, I don't remember how young I was young, my mother passed away and her voucher was given to me. So at the time, I was a teenage mom, and my grandparents, they stood on big business, okay? They made sure that they took care of all of my mother's affairs. They made sure me and my son was set with her Section 8 voucher, life insurance, like everything. And so fast forward, I ended up having another child a little bit after after my mom had passed, after she was deceased. So, and I may have been like 19, 18 or 19 actually. And so I was a teen mom with two babies on the Section 8 program. So I was on the Section 8 program for about 10, 15 years. Um, and I was a person, I was 18 on my own. I was living in a house. Um, I worked, I was going to school, but I also lived in the hood, okay? So there was a lot of drug activity, shootings, like all the things, and I contribute, yes, I contribute to being the menace to society as well because it was just the environment. Like I didn't know anything different. And so, fast forward, it wasn't until I gave my life to Christ that my eyes began to open a little bit. I began to see things in a different light. I began to just wonder, like, what is life like outside of my current environment, the environment that I was used to, the people that I was used to be around, the activities that I was engaging in, the legal activities. Like I began to feel convicted about certain things. And so as I'm digging into things, trying to, figure out how to better myself. And I'm in the word at this time. And I just feel a pull on my heart just to be different and to be better for the kingdom of God. I end up finding out about the family self-sufficiency program through Section 8. Now, this was not something that they told me about. Now, remember, I said I was on this program for about 10, 15 years, and they never mentioned this program. And if they did mention it, it wasn't in a way that probably would have caught my attention. I don't remember them ever mention it to me. Let me know in the comments if you are on the Section 8 program, if any of your caseworkers have ever mentioned the Family Self-Sufficiency Program to you. But anyway, I ended up finding out about this program pretty much on my own. And so I reached out to my Section 8 caseworker at the time and asked her about it. And she was, pretty much told me, like, yes, that's a program that we do. You have to set up a goal. What do you want your goal to be? So my goal was that I wanted to purchase a home. So I think there was like maybe five different goals you can do, whether it was go back to school, purchase a home, maybe purchase a car. Little things like, well, not little things, but goals, big goals that will help you be more sufficient. And so mine was to purchase a home. And so how the program worked is that whatever your rent is, so however much your rent is, they will match it in an escrow account. Okay, they will match it in the escrow account. Now this was almost 10 years ago when when I got on the program originally. So I hope the program is still the same. If not the same, then maybe it's similar, but they will match however much your rent was. So let's say if you're paying $500 for your rent every month, they will put in an escrow account for you to save up for your goal $1,000 each month as long as you're working. So as long as you're working and you're paying rent, they will match your rent. And so I was on the family self-sufficiency program for, I think, maybe 3 or 4 years um, before I started the process of purchasing a home. So they had all this money saved up for me, and it was a lot. It was about $20,000, about $20,000 that was saved up for me, and that money was going to come directly to me once I actually complete the goal. And the goal, of course, was purchasing a home. And so when I started the process of purchasing a home, I will say the self sufficiency program, was very helpful because they did set me up with like different programs that will help you with your credit repair, help you just understand what it means to be a first time homeowner, things you should look for, just all the information that I think you would need that will be beneficial for you if you are a first time homeowner. And so after I went through all of those programs, graduated from those programs, I was ready to purchase my home. And so you have to go through all of the steps that just any person would go through to purchase a home, even though you have this Section 8 escrow money and you're going through the Section 8 program. You still have to find like a lender. You have to be approved for just amount pertaining to your income and your credit score and things like that. And so with me, I began to look for a lender. So no, at first I found a realtor. So I first found a realtor, who then gave me suggestions for a lender. So the lender that she gave me, I went to them. They took all of my information and they came back with a number that I didn't like. I didn't like it. I didn't like the number at all because I had already had in my mind the area that I wanted to live in, and that number was way below what I could afford in that area. So I went to another vendor, and that vendor was really just God sent. Like God just really, God was just in this process the whole time. But that lender was really, really a blessing to me because the first lender, I may have said vendor, I meant lender. But the first lender only offered me 89K. I said that's not gonna work. I'm gonna need at least 100K, like bare minimum 100K. But they pretty much was like, well, that's all we can give you. We can't give you any more, blah blah blah. So I went to the second vendor, and he pretty much gave me around the same price. I think it was like 91 or something. And I was like, I cannot do that. Like the area that I want to move to, I need at least 100K. No, before I even told him how much I needed, he asked me. So let me backtrack. I said that amount is not good enough. And he asked me, he said, well, what is it that you need? What is it that you need? And I told him, I said, I need at least 100K. And he said, well, we'll see what we can do. And so what he asked for was, he said he wanted to see my assets. So he wanted to see the money that I had saved up. So I had a little cushion of my own money saved up. But then I also showed him the money that was in this escrow account, which was a little over $20,000. So that in itself helped me because he gave me 110K. So I asked for 100K. He gave me 110K. So I'm set. I'm like, thank you, God. So I'm set. I have been pre-approved for a home loan in the amount of 110K. So that was set. Now it was looking for a house, right? So remind you, I had dedicated my life to Christ. So I'm, being purged of all the old places and the clubbing and the friends that I was hanging with. Like God had begun to separate me from those people. Like there wasn't any type of bad blood. We didn't fall out or anything like that. It was just God was separating me from them. And so one of the places that I wanted to move was a little far out. So it wasn't in the hood anymore. It was like in a suburb. But I knew that I wanted my children to, be able to live in a place that was outside the hood. Well, no, let me back up. So I had already moved out of the hood. So let me say that I had moved out of the hood into some apartments on my Section 8 voucher when I first gave my life to Christ. And then from my Section 8 voucher, when I moved out of the hood into some suburbs, once it was time for me to purchase my home, I wanted to move in a different suburb, but still not in the hood. Okay, so I had to correct myself on that. So I knew what area I wanted to move to. Like I just knew all the things, right? So I'm house hunting. Now I really felt the pressure because the apartment that I was living in, I had to be out within like 3 months. So I'm house hunting. It might have been like around June or July, I guess, but my lease was up on October the 1st. And so I have these people in my ear saying, "Why did you wait so late? It can take a long time. It can take up to 3 months for your house to be approved and for you to move in and things like that." So I'm listening to these people because again, I'm a first time homeowner. I don't really know all the things. So I'm kind of panicking, right? And so I found a house that was not in the area that I had been praying and asking God for. It was actually, I want to say, it was in the inner city. I won't say it was necessarily the hood, but it was in the inner city and it wasn't too far from the hood, okay? It was actually like right around the corner from some clubs that I used to frequent at. But I'm thinking like, I'm saying I'm not going to no club, whatever. This is just gonna be home. It's not in the area that I wanted to be in, but at this point I need to hurry up and purchase a house. The house was nice. It was a little dated, but it was big, it was spacious, and I could just see myself living there and just doing some of the repairs. And so I talked to my realtor. I told her, let's put in an offer, and she put in an offer, and I just knew that this house was mine. Like I felt like when we went to look at it, like I just felt like this is it, this is the house. It may be, some little things here and there. I was compromising when I went in that house and I just felt it was right. It wasn't it wasn't I was really compromising because of fear and because I was just ready to just be settled into a house because I was fearful of maybe I won't find a house by October the 1st. We're going to have to live in a hotel and things like that. It was doable. The house was very much doable, but it was not what I wanted. I was going to settle. I was settling. So my realtor, she put in the offer. I'm praying. I'm like, God, this is my house. Like I'm going in. She calls me the next day and she's like, I'm sorry to inform you they didn't accept your offer. I'm like, what? Like, how do they not accept my offer? Like, now I'm just broken down. I'm like, God, why would you do this to me? Like, we're not gonna have no place to stay. I'm gonna have to stay in a hotel. Blah, 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 blah. That was God's mercy, His grace, His goodness. Okay, so I didn't get the house. So it's back to the drawing board. So I'm looking, looking, looking. What I began to notice is that a lot of the houses in the area, remember, there was an area that I wanted to live in. So that house that I was going to settle for was in the inner city. However, the area that I wanted to live in was a suburb. But what I began to notice as I was looking for houses in this area is that all of the houses that was in my price range only had 3 bedrooms. And I needed 4 bedrooms because that was one of the things that I wanted to check off of my list is that all of my kids will have their own bedroom. Because my oldest daughter and my youngest daughter, they used to share rooms. And the age gap between them is so large. Like I wanted my oldest daughter to be able to have her own room, in her high school years and be able to enjoy her space by herself. And so then I really began to just kind of get discouraged because I'm like, all of these houses are built the same. Like none of them are 4 bedroom, and all the ones that are built different that are 4 bedrooms, is out of my price range. But I kept looking. So one day I'm looking and I see a house in my price range for 105. I think it was 105. Yeah, it was. It was 105 with a four bedroom. So I'm like, hmm. So I immediately click on it. I'm looking at it and I'm like, oh, wow. So it was a two-car garage, and the previous homeowners or the homeowners at the time created a fourth bedroom for one of their kids. And when I say it's a real bedroom, like it looks like a real bedroom. Like from the inside, you would never know that it was part of the garage because it literally looks like, I mean, it had a window, it had carpet in there, like it was perfect. And so I immediately called my realtor, like, I see a house. I want to go see it right now. I see a house on the website. I want to go see it. She was like, "Oh, I was just going to call you about it. It just came up on the market." So I'm like, "What? How soon can we go see this house?" And she was like, okay, we'll make arrangements for it. So I'm waiting to hear her. I'm waiting to hear back from her, right? And let me backtrack a little bit. So I had a dream. I had a dream, and in my dream, it wasn't really like a long dream. It was kind of like that. You kind of waking up, and it's kind of like a vision. So I was kind of waking up, and I seen a vision of a fireplace, and I immediately knew, like, oh, that's my house. My house is going to have a fireplace. And so I knew that, right? And so my realtor, she sets everything up for me to see this house. When I come into the house, I instantly knew, like, this is my house. Like, this is it. The house was just so warm and welcoming. So I come in, I start walking towards the dining area, and I look to my right. And what do I see? A fireplace. Four bedrooms. Now, remind you, the fourth bedroom was created by the homeowners. It originally wasn't a four bedroom. Four bedrooms. And one thing that I was saying and just praying to God that I wanted was to start gardening. Like I wanted to start gardening. What is it? Gardening? Gardening? I wanted to start planting like cucumbers and I don't like tomatoes, but it was cucumbers and just different vegetables, right? And lo and behold, I look outside and they already have a little area set up where they had already started gardening. Why can I say this word right? Gardening. Y'all know what I mean. Gardening. I don't know. But they had already had it set up. And so I just instantly knew, like, this is my home. This is it. Like, this is it. And so I tell my realtor, like, how soon can we put an offer in? And she's like, oh, well, the realtor said that there's a lot of offers on this house. There's a lot of offers on this house, so we want to make sure that we're strategic and things like that. So she was saying, like, kind of lowballing. But I prayed. I said, okay, well, let me pray and ask God because like I said, I knew this. I knew the house was mine. Like, I knew it. And so I'm like, God, you ain't give me that vision for nothing. Like, you gave me the vision of the fireplace. I seen the fireplace. What should I put? What offer should I put for this house? And I heard 108. Now that was $3,000 more than what they were asking for, right? But I heard God say 108. And so I said, okay, I tell my realtor 108. She said, are you sure you want to go that high? Ma'am, ma'am, ma'am. I'm positive. Okay? Don't play with me. I heard what the Lord said 108. And she was like, okay, we're gonna put in an offer for 108. I'll let you know how it goes. So she put in an offer for 108. Um, at this time, I think I really was at ease because it was just annoying. Like, I didn't have this knowing at that first house. Like I said, that first house, I was panicking and I was compromising big time. But at this house, and it's closer to the time, of course, that I need to move. I'm probably like maybe a month and a half away from me having to move out of my apartment. So, but there was such a peace. Like there was such a peace, such a knowing, such a this is my house, like this is it. Like everything about me was just like I'm at ease, like I'm at peace. This is it. Like let's go. And so she calls me back and she's like, well, congratulations. They took your offer. She's like, I don't know what it was. She was like, maybe your prayer worked. She's like, but they took your offer. So I'm ecstatic. I'm telling my kids, like, we're moving into our own house. I'm so, so excited. And so we finally move in. Everything is perfect, and God is still dealing with me. He's still dealing with me. So I move in and remind you on the Section 8 program, when you are on this program through the Family Self-Sufficiency Program, once you purchase your home, you can begin to receive the vouchers in your name because essentially you are the landlord. And so in my mind, I'm thinking, oh, this is gonna be great. I'm gonna have an extra like $700 coming to me every month that I can apply to either, my mortgage or whatever I need because it's coming in my name, right? In my prayer time, God tells me before, and this was like right when I moved in, like so I didn't even have time to like even do any of the paperwork I was supposed to do with Section 8 so that they could start giving me the vouchers. In my prayer time, God tells me, I want you to go down there and withdraw yourself from the program. Er? You want me to do what now? Huh? I'm like, nah, I ain't hear God. I'm like, that clearly is me talking to me. Like, that clearly came from my own heart. But I began to feel convicted. Like, I felt that yucky feeling, like when you know God is speaking to you and you kind of trying to harden your heart or you're trying to turn your back. And so I'm like, dang, God really wants me to get off this program. So, like within a couple of days, I knew it was God speaking to me. And God had already been dealing with me about finances and things like that. So, I was thinking more, money as a way of increasing my finances, of being, more financially stable. But God was teaching me to depend more on Him to be financially stable and not on the government or anyone else, but that He is my ultimate provider. And so I kindly moseyed myself on down to our Section 8 program and told them that I wanted to withdraw from the program. And I mean, they were acting so confused, like, are you sure you want to do this? Do you mean you were reporting your income? Like, no. I was like, I just purchased a home and I just want to withdraw from the program altogether. And so they gave me a paper to fill out. It was kind of weird, like no one is forcing you to do this or something like that. It was again, this was almost like 8 years ago. Um, but I remember filling that paper out, and just thinking like, okay, God, like, thank you, like, thank you for everything that you've done and just this journey that you're taking me on to become more financially dependent on you. And so the rest is history. So I've been in my home for 8 years, never received a Section 8 voucher from my home. Now, it doesn't mean for the girlies who are on Section 8 that, God may take you on a different path. You may be able to get those Section 8 vouchers once you purchase your home because that is a blessing to have. Um, but always just use the government assistance to level up. Like, we need to use what is given to us as a benefit for our own self development. And so I just want to encourage the girlies out there that may be on Section 8, that may be on any type of low income housing. that it's possible to level up. It's possible for you to come out of your environment. If you feel that pull to come out of the hood, the ghetto, the projects, wherever, that pull is coming from God. And that's not a pull for you to ignore. That's a pull for you to begin to do your research. That's a pull for you to begin to get focused and not distracted by the things around you, by your environment, and to truly level up your life, because a lot of times it takes isolation for us to really see any type of elevation in our lives. You got to separate yourself. You got to separate yourself from some family members, friends, from the environment. Like, you have to do some type of separation. And if that separation calls for you even taking your Section 8 voucher and moving outside of your current environment, maybe moving to a suburb, then do that. If it, involves you maybe moving to a different subdivision or a different low income apartment, then do that. Like, do what you need to do by the leading of the Holy Spirit, so that you can elevate yourself, that you can become the best version of yourself, and that you can ultimately, of course, become who God has created you to be. And so I want to encourage you, the girlies that are on Section 8, to use your Section 8 voucher to elevate your life. Find out more about the Family Self Sufficiency Program. I don't think it's a program that they tell people about. I don't know why. I would assume the funds are there to help people, but a lot of times you do just have to do the research yourself to find out what is out there, because I truly believe that government assistance is used as a weapon to keep you dependent on the government, but it's going to be up to us to use it as a stepping stone and not a crutch. And so do your due diligence to find out more about the program. If you do feel a pull to want to purchase a home, maybe you even want to go back to school, maybe you want to purchase a car. Like, there's other goals that you can set up to get on the program and have that money saved in an escrow account for you to use to become more self-sufficient. So I hope this video helped. Please leave me in the comments if you know somebody who used the Family Self-Sufficiency Program, if you are on the Section 8 program and you've heard of it, or if you haven't heard of it. Let's have some conversations in the chat. If anybody has any questions about Family Self Sufficiency Program and I can possibly help, you can always reach out to me. Until next time, lovely ladies, I will talk to you soon. Bye.